What's up guys, my name is Brock, you're watching The Modest Man, and today I want to show you my current watch collection. Okay, first up, as always, links to everything I talk about and everything you see in the video will be down in the description, so be sure to check that out. And secondly, let me just say that I am not a watch expert by any stretch of the imagination. I would consider myself a budding enthusiast who has a lot to learn. But oddly enough, one of my most popular videos here on this channel is about watches. It's called the Only 3 Watches That You Need, and it's about kind of building like a minimalist watch collection. And since I put that video out, I've really gotten more into watches and I've learned a lot about them and about my preferences and just what kind of watches I want to own. And to be honest, my thoughts about watches have changed a little bit since that video. I'm trying to build a small but intentional collection, so I want to have a watch for any occasion, but I don't want to have a lot of duplicates. You know, so I want to have a versatile collection, but I don't want 10 dress watches, you know, maybe just 1 or 2. So my criteria are, first of all, size. You know, I want watches that fit my wrists. My wrists are just under 6.5 inches around, so I'm looking for 38 millimeters or smaller, and I'm definitely not afraid to wear like a more vintage size watch, like a 34 millimeter. 2, I'm looking for value. You know, when I buy a watch, I want to pay for quality materials, quality craftsmanship, you know, engineering, design. I don't want to pay for designer labels or logos or, you know, marketing hype. And finally, I prefer mechanical watches, automatics. I'm not above wearing a quartz watch. I have a couple of quartzes in this collection and you'll see those. I love them, but there's something about a mechanical. The engineering that went into it and the history is just kind of amazing. So I definitely prefer mechanical and automatic watches over quartzes, but I do have a couple of battery-powered watches in my collection. Okay, let's look at the watches. We'll start with the most casual and work our way toward the more dressy. So first up, we have the Casio F84W. This is basically like a less popular version of the F91W, which is like a super popular, very affordable digital watch from Casio. This is a great little watch. It's extremely low profile, very, very thin, very small. Slightly different look and colors than the 91W, but it's the same basic thing. I think this is, what, $18 on Amazon? You know, so this is a very affordable watch, so I'll wear it when I'm riding with a boosted board. You know, if I fall off and scratch the thing or break it, it's not a big deal, it's so cheap. I've worn it, you know, in the ocean. I just like this little watch, kind of my beater watch. I love that it has a little light and it has the alarm function. I actually have the alarm set for 5:30 p.m. every day, and that's right when I feed our dog. So every day when this thing goes off, she goes nuts, which is kind of funny. You want some food? Can I interest you in this Mediterranean style medley? Stay. Okay. So yeah, awesome, little affordable watch, and of course I'll link to this one from Amazon down below. Okay, next up, still very casual, we have the Seiko SNK 805. This one is on a camo NATO strap from Clockwork Synergy. I'll link to that strap down below. And this is also super casual watch, kind of a field pilot aesthetic. And I truly believe this is the best affordable or entry-level automatic watch. This is a great choice for your first watch. This is between $50 and $60 on Amazon, so super affordable for an automatic watch. It's got the see-through case back, so you can see the movement, which is pretty neat. Day-date complication, and it's available in 4 or 5 different colors, I think. This is the 805, so it's the green dial. You can get blue, black, I think red, and like a cream color. The only thing I don't like about it is it's not very water resistant, so you know, if you submerge this and went swimming with it, you definitely risk damaging or destroying it. Wouldn't be a huge deal because it's not that expensive, but you know, I do wish it was a little more water resistant, so it would be a true beater watch. But you know, if I'm gonna go hiking and you know, I think I might go swimming, I'm gonna wear this guy, not this guy. But yeah, I mean, if you have 50 bucks to spend or even, you know, $100 and you want an automatic, I really think this is your best choice. Okay, same type of aesthetic, but slightly different. And actually, this is the only duplication of my collection because the Seiko SNK 805 and this little Hamilton Khaki mechanical are similar in that they're both kind of field watches, casual field watches, I was trying to decide between which one of these to get, and I ended up getting the Seiko, but then I couldn't stop thinking about this one, so I ended up getting this one too. And it goes against my wannabe minimalist tendencies, but this is a great watch, so let me tell you a little bit about it. This is my latest edition, and every time I wear this watch, I feel like I stole something because it's such a great value. Hamilton was actually founded originally in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is not too far from where I grew up in Maryland. The company made a name for itself with really accurate pocket watches made for the railroad industry. So it was really important for people that worked on trains, conductors, to have very accurate timekeeping, because if they didn't, then accidents would happen. During World War II, Hamilton provided hundreds of thousands of watches to US soldiers. And then in the 1970s, Hamilton was bought by the Swatch Group, which is the giant Swiss watch company. They own brands like Omega and Tissot. So it's a cool company because they have this American heritage, but this is a Swiss-made watch. There is an automatic version of this watch, but I like this one because since it's mechanical, but it's not automatic, it's very thin. And so it's like a 38 millimeter and it's super thin. So it wears, it's got a very low profile on your wrist. And I mean, in a pinch, you could even put this on like a patent black leather strap and wear it as a dress watch. Anyway, I could go on and on about this watch. I've been wearing it every day for a few weeks. But I will save that for the full review. Okay, next up we have my dive watch. This is the Seiko SKX 013. This is the K2 version, which I believe means it was made in Korea. This is, in my opinion, the best entry-level dive watch if you have smaller wrists. The SKX 009 and 007 are much more popular than this version, but this is basically just their little brother. It's 38 millimeters. I think the thickness is like 11 or 12 millimeters. I put it on this oyster bracelet from Strapcode. It comes on a stock Jubilee bracelet. This one's a little more sturdy and definitely a little chunkier and heavier. This was my first automatic watch. It was my first dive watch. I'd say it was my first like real watch. And so it has a very special place in my collection. I'm gonna hang on to this one probably forever. I really, really like it. Totally waterproof, 200 meters water resistance. So I've taken this swimming and everything, and it's a true dive watch. I think that if you're trying to get into the automatic watch world, or you really want an automatic dive watch and your wrists are, say, less than 7 inches around, I think this is your best choice. It can be found for about $210, $215 on Amazon. And then if you wanted to get this oyster bracelet, you can get this for $70 from Strapcode. Of course, I'll link to all that down below. Okay, and then last but certainly not least is my dress watch. I don't even know if you can get this anymore. This is just an old Citizen Quartz watch. It was a hand-me-down from my dad. He wore this during his suit and tie IBM days back in the 80s and the early 90s. It's a great little watch. The size and shape is definitely retro. It's got that rectangle shape, and it's very, very small, very thin because it's a quartz. And I love that because it fits under any shirt cuff, no matter how slim fit your sleeve is, it's gonna fit under there. And I would love to add an automatic dress watch to my collection one day. If a watch like the Orient Bambino, I can hear you right now, I can hear in the comments, everybody's like, get the Bambino. My problem with the Orient Bambino is it's too big for a dress watch and for my wrist. I think 40 millimeters is the smallest size they sell in the Bambino. And if it came in 36 or even 38, I'd get it right now. For now, this is my go-to dress watch. And yeah, it's not Swiss made, it's not an automatic, but because what it means to me, and the story behind it, I really like it. And it just kind of goes to show that, it's not all about the price or the movement or the brands or, what country it's from. It's about, how much you like it and what it means to you. So, watches are kind of like cigars or wine or whiskey. If you like it, it's good, and it doesn't really matter what other people say. So there you have it. That is my current watch collection. I may upgrade certain pieces or even add certain pieces to the collection in the future, but I think that the essence of the collection will stay the same. And that's, it's not a big collection. I think 5 watches, maybe 6 watches is kind of my max. It's intentional. It's ready for any occasion. So if I'm dressing up in a suit and tie or just, hitting the beach in shorts and flip-flops, I have a watch that's good for the occasion. And, all of these watches are respectable and they're valuable. They're not overpriced. They're just good watches. They're well made from reputable companies. and I like them, you know, and they're the right size for me. So the essence of this collection will stay the same even if the actual pieces change in the future. So I'd love to hear from you. You know, what's your collection look like right now? Definitely let me know down in the comments. Just list out your collection or maybe your top 3 or 4 favorites. If you own any of these watches or if you have any suggestions for me, definitely let me know. And until next time, stay stylish.